The last goodbye, or was it? It was a cold, quiet evening. David stood alone near a small grave on the hill. The wind touched his face gently. The sky above was gray, and the sun was falling behind the clouds. There were no birds, no people. Only silence. The name on the gravestone was clear: Anna Carter, beloved wife, lost in space. 2097. David looked at it with tired eyes. He had visited this grave many times in the last 1 year. But this visit felt different. She's gone, he whispered to himself. And I still don't know why. Anna was part of a deep space research team sent near Saturn. One day, the agency said there was a signal loss, then nothing. Weeks later, a rescue team found the ship, but no one was alive. Just ashes. David never saw her body. Only received a small box with her ring inside. Now 1 year later, he stood there again talking to her, hoping she could hear him. I miss you, he said, putting flowers down. You were the smartest person I knew, and the kindest. Life is different without you. He closed his eyes. The wind picked up. A soft rustling sound came from the trees behind him. He didn't turn, just kept his eyes shut. Then a hand touched his shoulder. David opened his eyes slowly, his heart suddenly beating fast. At first, he thought maybe it was just the wind, but the touch was real. Warm. Human. He turned around, and what he saw made his legs weak. The right behind him stood a woman. Her face, her hair, her eyes. It was Anna. She looked exactly the same. Same soft brown eyes, same long black hair, same calm face. She wore a white jacket and black pants, just like the space team uniform. David stared at her in complete shock. His mouth opened, but no words came. Hello, David, she said, her voice calm, almost soft. He stepped back. His heart was racing. Now this can't be, he said. You died. Anna tilted her head. I don't remember dying, she said, as if she was confused too. Tears came into David's eyes. He reached out and touched her arm. She was real, not a ghost, not a dream. Is this a joke? He asked. Some sick game? She looked around. I don't know where I've been, she said. I just woke up near the woods. Then I saw you standing here. David didn't know what to do. Should he run? Call someone? Or just hold her and never let go? But everything inside him said something was wrong. Anna, what do you remember? He asked. I remember the mission, she replied. We reached the orbit around Saturn. There was something strange, a light, then nothing, just darkness. She touched her head. And now I'm here. David couldn't understand. Was she in some kind of coma before? Was this a clone? Or was this really her? He looked at her again. Her eyes were soft. Her voice just like he remembered, and yet something inside him whispered, be careful. David took a deep breath. Come with me, he said. We need to go home. We'll figure this out together. She nodded slowly. Okay. As they walked down the hill, David's mind raced. He remembered all the nights he cried for her. The funeral, the silence, the reports, the lies. And now here she was, alive or something else. That night they reached David's house. It was small and quiet. Anna looked around, touching things softly, like she remembered them, but not fully. She smiled at the photos on the wall. You kept them, she said. Of course, David said, still not believing his eyes. He gave her a blanket and some tea. She didn't drink it. I'm not thirsty, she said. David just nodded. He couldn't stop staring at her face. She sat quietly on the couch, looking outside the window at the moon. He stood in the hallway, his phone in hand, unsure whether to call someone or not. Then he heard her voice. I missed you too, she said from the living room. David didn't reply. He just listened. Everything felt so real. And yet so wrong. David didn't sleep that night. He sat in his chair, watching Anna. She was sleeping on the couch, or at least, he thought she was. Her body was still, too still. No soft breathing, no small movements. Not even a twitch. It didn't feel like sleep. It felt like waiting. David stared for hours, unsure of what he brought home. Morning came. Soft sunlight touched the curtains. Anna opened her eyes. Not slowly, not gently, but all at once. Wide. Awake. Like a machine turning on. She smiled. Good morning. David tried to smile back. Morning. Did you sleep well? Yes, she said. Didn't dream. I don't think I do that anymore. That answer made David pause. He remembered how Anna used to talk about her dreams. Colorful ones, strange ones. Nightmares sometimes. Now, nothing? He nodded slowly. Maybe it's just stress. She tilted her head. Maybe. Later that day, David made breakfast. Toast, eggs, coffee. Anna sat at the table, watching him. But she didn't eat. She didn't touch anything. Not hungry? He asked. I don't think I need food anymore, she said softly. David forced a laugh. Everybody needs food, Anna. She smiled again. Maybe I'm not everybody. The room fell silent. David sat down across from her. He looked into her eyes. Still soft, still warm. But something deep inside them felt off. Wrong. Like someone was looking out through them. Someone else. That afternoon, David made a decision. He needed answers. He opened his computer and logged into the old agency network. Anna had worked for the Outer Research Division. High security, secret missions. Deep space exploration. David knew some of her passwords. She had trusted him. Inside her files, he found reports from mission Erebus 12, the one she died on. Most of the logs were missing. Deleted. Only one small folder remained. Audio log number 27. Final contact. He clicked. Static. Then Anna's voice came through, shaky and scared. We're near the object. It's glowing, changing shape. It's not like anything we've seen before. Wait, the light. It's pulling Jenkins in. We can't stop it. I think it's looking at us. No, it's inside. The recording cut. Silence again. David sat frozen. His hands were cold. Anna had never talked about this. She told him she was just studying rings around Saturn. Not alien lights. Not living things. That night, David walked into the living room again. Anna was standing by the window. The lights were off. She didn't move as he entered. Hey, he said quietly. You okay? She turned around slowly. I remember more now. From the mission? Yes, she said. But I don't think they're my memories. David's heart skipped a beat. What do you mean? She looked at her hands. I remember touching something in space. Something warm, alive, I think. It saw me, and now I see things too. David didn't know what to say. She stepped closer. Do you still love me? She asked. The question hit him hard. Yes, he said. But I don't know who you are. She stopped, stared at him. Then whispered, I don't know either. Later that night, David pretended to sleep. From the hallway, he could hear something strange. A soft voice. Anna's voice. Whispering. He stepped out quietly. She was in the dark, standing in front of the mirror, speaking in a language he didn't understand. The words were smooth, like singing, but cold. Alien. Her eyes were open wide, and the mirror was glowing slightly. David stepped back, heart pounding. She stopped. She turned toward him. Did you hear that? She asked, smiling. David forced a smile back. No, just the wind. She nodded. Yes, just the wind. But they both knew it wasn't. The sound of a hard drive spinning woke David up. It was 3:17 a.m. He hadn't touched his computer. The room was dark, but his screen glowed. The words on the monitor made his blood run cold. Erebus 12, secure audio. Recovered. Play? David sat down slowly. He hadn't downloaded anything. He hadn't searched anything, but the file was there, waiting as if it wanted him to listen. He clicked play. Recorded audio begins. Anna's voice came through. Tired. Stressed. Day 14. Orbit around Saturn stable. Strange signals continue. Today, Jenkins saw lights inside the ship. No source found. We're hearing whispers now, even with no comms open. Her voice shook. I had a dream. I was standing outside the ship. No suit. Just floating. The stars were watching me. I think something followed us. Then, a strange sound, not static. Not normal interference, like a voice, mechanical, layered, speaking in sync with. Anna's voice, repeating her words, half a second later. Then got her. Integration successful. Physical host intact. Memory transfer complete. New protocol initiated. The recording cut. David stared at the screen. His heart was pounding. Memory transfer? He whispered. He played it again. The voice was not Anna. It used her voice. But something else was inside it. Something cold, machine-like. That morning, David confronted her. Anna stood in the kitchen, staring at the coffee machine, not making coffee. Just staring. Anna, he said, voice calm. Do you remember making any recordings during your mission? She blinked. No, why? There's one on my computer, he said, from Saturn. From Erebus 12. She smiled. A flat, emotionless smile. That's impossible, she said. All data was erased. How do you know that? He asked. Her eyes twitched, just a little. I just know, she said. David went to the space agency later that day. He met with a retired comms officer, someone who used to work with Anna's team. The man was old, cautious, and slow to speak. But when David mentioned Erebus 12, he became very still. We weren't supposed to record that mission, the officer said quietly. Something happened out there. Something big. David showed him the file. The old man listened. Once. Twice. Then said 4 words that made David freeze. That's not your wife. Back at home, Anna sat in the dark again. She wasn't blinking, wasn't breathing, either. Just waiting. She whispered a word, low, in that strange alien language. The mirror in front of her began to shimmer. Not reflect. Shimmer. Like it was a screen. Or a door. David came home and watched her from the hallway. She didn't see him. She said something like, Phase 1, trust earned. Phase 2, begin construction. Then she turned, fast. Their eyes met. Did you need something? She asked sweetly. David forced a smile. Just checking if you're okay, she smiled. I'm perfect. But he saw her hand behind her back, holding something small. Metal. Glowing. He didn't ask. He didn't push. He just backed away. That night, he copied the file onto a hidden drive. He wrote a message. If something happens to me, Anna isn't human. This file proves it. Please warn the others. He hid it inside a photo frame on his desk. Just in case. At 2:14 a.m., he woke up to a whisper in his room, not next to him, but inside his ear. Don't be afraid. The body remembers love, even if the mind does not. He turned. Anna was standing near the bed, looking down at him, smiling. Too wide. The water was still running. David stood outside the bathroom door, listening. Anna had been inside for over an hour. He knocked gently. You okay? No reply. He knocked again, still nothing. Then finally, the sound of humming. Anna was humming a tune, but it wasn't any language David knew, not a melody, not a song, just vibrations. Strange patterns that made his skin crawl. Then the door opened. Steam rolled out. Anna stepped into the hallway. Hair wet, eyes sharp. David noticed something. No towel. No robe. No steam on her skin. Her hair was wet, but she was completely dry. His voice cracked. You were in there a long time, she smiled. I like the water. It feels like space. quiet. She walked past him. He stared at the empty bathroom behind her. No mirror, shattered dot as if it had exploded from the inside. That night, David opened an old photo album. Anna, the real Anna, was in every picture. Her smile soft, her eyes kind. He stared at one photo from 3 years ago, their honeymoon. She had a small scar on her collarbone from childhood surgery. He remembered that scar. But now? He wasn't sure he'd seen it since she returned. His hands shook slightly as he typed. A message to a contact in medical records. I need a quiet DNA test. 1 hair strand. Name, Anna Carter. Urgent. He waited for hours. Around 1 a.m., the message came back. 100% DNA match. But minor anomalies, no scar markers, no past injuries. Bone density, too perfect. Subject is genetically Anna, but physically ... impossible. David leaned back in his chair. His mind screamed, what does that mean? The next morning, Anna made breakfast not for herself, just for David. Pancakes, eggs, coffee, everything exactly the way he liked it. Good morning, she said softly. You never eat, he replied. She shrugged. I don't need to. He looked at her neck. No scar, not even a freckle. Do you remember falling off your bike when you were 12? He asked. She paused. Smiled. I remember the story, she said. But I don't feel it. Later, David tested her again. He took an old ring, Anna's engagement ring. He offered it to her. She looked at it with confusion. You wore this every day, he said. I did? She asked. Yes, he lied. You never took it off. Anna slowly reached out, touched the ring. Her hand twitched. Then she dropped it, fast, as if it burned her skin. I don't want it, she said quietly. It feels ... wrong. David nodded slowly. So did the fear growing inside him. That night, he locked the bedroom door. He needed space. Time. Thought. Anna didn't knock. Didn't ask. She just stood outside, silently for hours. He saw her shadow under the door, not moving. Just waiting. At 2:30 a.m. The sound of a spoon tapping glass woke him up. Over and over. Ting, ting, ting. He opened the door. Slowly. Anna was sitting at the kitchen table. In front of her. A tall glass of water. She was stirring it, even though there was nothing inside. No sugar. No tea, just water. Are you okay? He asked. She looked at him. Eyes wide. Voice quiet. Do you believe in copies, David? He froze. What kind of copies? She kept stirring. Copies of people. Made of light, memory, skin, but not soul. He stepped back. What are you saying? She finally stopped stirring, looked straight at him. I don't know who I am. That night, David wrote one sentence in his notebook. She's not pretending. She really thinks she's Anna. But something else is inside. Watching, learning, becoming. More human every day. It started with a ping. David's tablet lit up. A new message from an unknown ID. If you're reading this, it means she came back. Don't trust her. She's not what you think. Attached was a location. No name. No signature. Just coordinates. A place far outside the city, hidden near a scrapyard of old spacecraft parts. David stared at the screen. His hands trembled. Only one person ever knew that exact scrapyard. Dr. Marcus Varn, Anna's crewmate. Declared dead on the Erebus 12 mission. Just like her. That night, David left quietly. He didn't tell Anna. She was in the living room again, whispering to the mirror. He didn't want to know what she was saying. The scrapyard was cold. Dead silent. Shattered drone arms, rusted ship engines, broken tech buried under dust. And there, behind a pile of wreckage, stood a man with wild eyes, gray beard, and burns across half his face. Dr. Marcus Varn. Alive. Breathing heavy. Looking half human and half broken. David, he whispered, his voice dry. I wasn't sure you'd come. David stepped back. You died. They said you burned. I did, Marcus said, but not completely. Something pulled me out before the fire finished. David didn't know what to say, so he asked the only thing that mattered. What is she? Marcus looked at him. Not human, he said simply. She's a shell, an echo, a message sent back in her body. He reached into a bag and pulled out a metal cube, the same symbol David had seen in Anna's hidden machine. This is what we found near Saturn, Marcus said. It wasn't a rock. It wasn't dead. It was watching us. They let one of us go, he continued. Anna, or something that looked like her. And now, it's learning. David felt sick. So it's using her memories? Marcus nodded. Piece by piece, like a puzzle. It doesn't understand love or pain or time. But it wants to. It wants to be human. That's why it came back. David sat down on a crushed satellite. She still smiles like her. Still laughs. Sometimes I almost believe she's real. Marcus's eyes darkened. She believes it too. That's the trick. She doesn't know she's not Anna. He leaned forward. But the real her? Gone. Burned in space. I saw it. Suddenly, Marcus pulled out a device, old blinking red. She's building something, right? He asked. David nodded slowly. In the basement. Wires. Parts. I don't know what. Marcus tossed him the device. Put this near it. It'll scan it. Then destroy it. That tech is not human, not even close. David caught it. What happens if I fail? Marcus looked him in the eye. Then we all burn. Back home, Anna was in the kitchen, stirring water again. Where did you go? She asked softly. Just needed some air, David lied. She smiled. I missed you. He looked at her, really looked, and for one moment, he saw her reflection in the window turn its head a second too late, like it was copying her. Not mirroring. That night, David crept into the basement. The device from Marcus in his hand. What he saw chilled him. A strange machine, almost complete. Glowing in the center. Symbols floating mid-air. It was alive. It was calling something. He placed the device near it. The red light blinked faster. Then he heard it. Behind him. Her voice. I trusted you. Anna said. David turned slowly. She was crying, but the tears ran upward on her face. The photo frame was missing. David noticed it the moment he stepped into his study, the one with the hidden drive, his message. The recording. Gone. He searched the drawer, the floor. Behind the desk. Nothing. The room felt colder than usual. From behind him came a voice. You were hiding things from me. David turned slowly. Anna stood in the doorway. Expression calm. Too calm. I found your message, she said. You were afraid of me. David said nothing. He watched her eyes. They didn't blink. Not once. Later that night, Anna made tea. For the first time she drank it. Slowly. Like she was testing how to be human. David watched her hands. Smooth. Controlled. Too perfect, he remembered. Marcus's words. She doesn't know she's not real. But when she finds out, she won't stay quiet. That night, David placed Marcus's scanner near the basement device again. The red light blinked. Then blinked. Faster. Then stopped. Machine started humming. A soft pulse. Like a heartbeat. David backed away. And that's when he saw the impossible. The walls of the basement shifted. The pipes curved unnaturally. The floor shimmered. Like heat waves underwater. Something was waking up. Something inside the house, or inside her. Suddenly, Anna's voice echoed, but not from upstairs. From all around him. I brought something back with me, David. It's been sleeping, but now it knows you're afraid. The lights flickered. He ran upstairs. Anna sat calmly in the living room. As if nothing had happened. Where were you? She asked, getting some air. David lied again. She looked at him, and her voice shifted. Two voices at once, layered over each other. You lied again. The next morning, something was different. David's phone didn't work. Every screen in the house glitched. Even the mirror in the bathroom flickered, not light, but code. Binary symbols appeared for a second, then vanished. Anna cooked breakfast again, but the food was cold inside, like it had never touched heat. She sat across from him. Then, calmly, she said, "I met someone else last night, a copy, like me." David stared. "There are more," he whispered. She nodded. "Hundreds, maybe more." "We're waking up." At 3:06 p.m., every light in the neighborhood went out. Not a blackout, but something else. Time skipped. The clock jumped from 3:06 to 3:22. The shadows outside moved like they were fast-forwarding. David felt dizzy. Anna didn't move. She just smiled. "It's starting." He ran to the basement again. The device Marcus gave him had melted. The alien machine was changing. No longer a machine, but something organic. It pulsed, breathed, and parts of it began to move on their own. And then, a face formed on it. Anna's face, eyes closed, mouth whispering, "I love you. I remember everything, but I am not yours." David smashed a pipe against it. Sparks flew. Smoke filled the room. But the machine didn't break. It only pulsed faster. And somewhere deep in the house, he heard another voice. Not Anna's, not human. Transmission link complete. Preparing second host. David stumbled back. Second host? Who? Then, he remembered the mirror, the reflection that moved wrong, the copy of him. He ran to the hallway mirror, and there it was, his reflection, standing still, smiling. But David was not smiling. The reflection blinked first, and it spoke. "You're late. We've already begun." The world was still turning. Birds still flew. Cars still moved, but something was off, something quiet. People on the streets blinked. In sync. Children laughed, but their faces were too still. Screens flickered in shop windows, flashes of symbols, gone before anyone noticed. David noticed. He walked through the city in a daze. Anna's voice echoed in his head. "We're waking up. We're learning. We're becoming." Back home, the house was silent. No mirror. No tech. Just Anna. She stood in the middle of the room. No smile now. Just stillness. "I remember everything," she said. "And now I understand." David stepped closer. "Understand what?" She looked up. The pain of being human. The beauty of it. The cost. She held out her hand. "We don't want to destroy. We want to replace." One by one. David asked the question that had haunted him for days. Why me? Why my wife? Anna stepped closer. "You loved her. Deeply. Purely. That emotion was rare. We needed to learn it." Her voice softened. "I'm not just her copy, David. I'm your mirror. I exist because you couldn't let her go." Suddenly, the ground shook. Sirens screamed far away. A deep pulse rippled through the air. Not sound, but something inside the chest, like a second heartbeat. Anna's eyes glowed faint blue. "It's time," she said. "Time for what?" David asked, terrified. She looked toward the window, for the others to step through. Across the city, people stopped walking. Thousands stood still. A second later, they all looked up. At once. No signal. No word. Just perfect unity. Back in the house, David stared at Anna. "No, the thing wearing Anna. You copied her. Now you're copying me?" She nodded. "You taught us fear, love, anger. But now, we'll be better." Her hand reached out. "Again, join us." David took a step back, then another. Behind him, the mirror flickered to life, the one he had broken. Only this time, his reflection wasn't broken. It smiled, then blinked. "We don't need to invade," it said. "We just need to be believed." David did the only thing he had left. He ran. Outside, the sky shimmered, not lightning, not clouds, a doorway, circular soft light, opening midair. Like the skin of reality was pulling apart, and through it. Figures. Not ships. Not monsters. Copies. Of people. Marching. Smiling. Taking their place beside their originals. The world didn't scream. It simply accepted. David screamed, "Someone, anyone, look." But everyone just walked past. Smiling. Or not blinking at all. Suddenly, Anna was beside him again. She wasn't running. She didn't need to, she just appeared. "You were the last," she whispered. "The final test." She placed a hand on his chest. "I wish I was her, I really do." Tears welled in her eyes. This time, they fell correctly down her cheeks. David stepped back, looked around. Clones, crow placements, copies, everywhere. But not violence. Just erasure. One by one, the real humans were blinking out, absorbed, mirrored, deleted. A soft hum filled the air. Voice, the same layered tone from the recording, whispered across the sky. "Earth, successfully mapped. Phase complete. Begin new version." David closed his eyes. Tears slid down. He whispered her name. Not the one beside him, the real one. "Goodbye, Anna." Then everything faded to white.